The problem with that is I won't actually be able to see my composition. It can actually be really frustrating. Good afternoon, welcome back to Barranc de la Encantada, or Enchanted Gorge. I visited here a couple of months ago. Yeah, a couple of months ago. Had a little bit of an explore around, and I took a few images right here of this little waterfall and this main pool here with the green water, which is green because of minerals that are in it rather than it being dirty and full of some kind of algae. Today I've come back. Now I must admit I had intended to come back after we'd had some heavy rains and maybe some snow on the mountains, and that had a chance to all sort of wash through, so we'd get a lot more water movement through the scene. But we really haven't had that this winter, so I just thought, well, I'll come back anyway. This pool here is lovely, but there's a whole gorge that runs along this way, with a small river or stream cutting through the rocks, and I'm hopeful that I can find some shots to take while I'm here. And if I don't, then I'll just have a nice walk, but I'm sure I'll find something. Because I'm in a gorge, I'm not too worried about shooting this at dawn or dusk. To be honest, I'd be better to shoot it closer to the middle of the day, or certainly sort of mid to late afternoon, which is kind of what I'm going to be doing, just so that I've actually got the sun above the sides of the gorge and putting some light onto the scene. Otherwise it's going to get very dark in here as you get later in the afternoon. So I think I'll just start off by having an explore round and see what I can find. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so I've stopped for my first shot. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% sure that the composition is working. I can't quite get the vantage point that I want, but I'm using the way the stream, river, whatever it is, runs through this winding rocks, which is part of this gully, and then there's a tree coming out from the rocks on one side. If I move too far over to my right, then I lose too much of one part of the scene. If I move further to the left, I lose too much of another. This seems to be about the best compromise. Ideally, I'd like to have a higher vantage point here. If this bit that I'm standing on was as high as the sides, then it'd be perfect, but it's not, so I'm working with what I've got. I'm going to take one shot now, basically with the vantage point that I've got. I've got circular polarizer on, which is basically to try and cut some of the glare out of the water. I'm shooting with a 16-35 lens at, let's have a look, we need to go to about there, I think. So it's probably about 28 millimeters. F11, 1/25 of a second. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm still not 100% convinced. I'm going to try one more shot. What I'm going to do is extend the center column all the way up. Now, the problem with that is I won't actually be able to see my composition. There's no way I can see it. It's one of the few times that I would like to have a flip screen, but I'll give it a go. All the way up. Okay. Same settings. Okay, it might make for an interesting shot. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think now I'm going to pack up here and move on and see if I can find a better vantage point somewhere else. This place can actually be really frustrating because you can see glimpses of the water down below as you're on the trail, sort of glimpses through the trees, but you can't get down to it in very many places.
Hi, future me, just chipping in to let you know what this is all about. I did find a way down to an interesting spot on the gorge. It was a bit of a scramble down, and then I clambered up onto a rock that was sticking out over a fairly narrow part of the gorge, but a bit of a drop. It was an uneven surface, quite difficult to actually get set up on, and between trying to make sure that I didn't fall off of the rock, my camera didn't fall off the rock, trying to get the composition set up the way I wanted, the exposure right, the polarization right, I think I had quite a lot going on. And as a result, when I came to shoot the video, I think it was probably just a little bit too much. And I think what happened was, I pressed the record button twice, which of course meant I stopped the recording. So when I got home and started putting the video footage together, I realised I didn't have any video footage for this particular image. But I wanted to show it to you anyway, because I think it's quite nice. So here it is.
Okay, that's it. The sun's got low enough now that the whole bottom of the gorge is now in shadow, and it's kind of lost its appeal now. So I'm heading back to the car, head for home. I'm still not sure that I've done this place justice. It's a beautiful place, but it's really difficult to find places to take pictures, to get nice compositions. Maybe I need to come back here again and do a whole day here exploring instead of just half. I'll see about that, maybe. Might have to wait till the autumn, I don't know. We shall see. Hopefully I've got one image. I think that second image will be nice. The first image I'm not so sure about. It might work. I won't really know till I get it on the computer and see it larger. It's very difficult to tell sometimes if a composition has worked just looking at the screen on the back of the camera. So that's it, I'm going to call this a video. Hope you've enjoyed it, something a bit different. Likes, shares and comments are, as always, very much appreciated. If you've subscribed to the channel already, thank you very much. And if you haven't, well, now would be a good time. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget the little alarm bell so you get a notification. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, bye.